Hey, how you doing? I just thought I'd try something different. Going over the sixth step in the accounting cycle, which I need you to know. That's one of the objectives of this particular chapter. Once again, I would like you to remember now the first six steps in the accounting cycle. I want you to know how long a physical period generally will last, what a worksheet is, uh, how to set up the heading, how the accounts are listed. I would like you to know what ruling refers to, a single and a double line, and what order to prepare the worksheet. So those are the objectives for this chapter. Now I'm using Google Sheets, so everything that I do, you can do also. Now, if you notice, the first thing that you should look is that the heading, which some of you have tended to forget, the name of the company is on line 1. The name of the statement that we're producing in this case is a worksheet that goes on line 2. If you notice, it is one word. And then the new terms for the month ended. And then you put in the date. You can abbreviate the date, you can type out the full date, but you do have to type out or abbreviate the month name. So in this case, the new title for the date, rather than just putting the month by itself, we are going to type for the month ended October 31st, in this case, in the current year of 2015. Now, if you notice, all the accounts are listed. This is exactly how they are listed in the general ledger. And the most efficient way to do this is by, once you've completed the fifth step in the accounting cycle, which was to prepare the trial balance, all you have to do is copy that information. If the account does not have a balance, it's still listed in the worksheet. This is done in pencil. If we were doing it manually, it would be done in pencil. And all you do is copy the information right off your trial balance and transfer it right to the worksheet part, the trial balance section first. Okay, now once that's done, and the bottom line, the worksheet is going to let us know, did we make money or did we lose money for this particular period? So what they say is, the first thing that you do once the trial balance section is done, obviously you would like to find the total. You have to make sure the debits and credits are equal. And I'm going to make this column a little bit bigger. If you know, and what we do here, we're going to put in a function. I'm going to type in the equal sign. And in this case, when we want to add a range of cells, we use the sum function. So I'll type out sum, and I'll use I'll type in the left parentheses. I'll scroll up, and I'm going to highlight the range that I want to add. In this case, it's going to be C7. I'm holding the left mouse down. I'm dragging down. Hopefully it's going to keep coming. And I'm going to add it until C29. I'm going to hit escape to make sure I put in the right spot. Let's try that again. Equal sum. Looked like it went into the wrong cell. I'll scroll up, and I'm going to drag down to make sure I get to the right cell. In this case, it's utilities revenue. So right here, I'm adding up the numbers in the range C7 through C29. And then I'm going to hit the Enter key, and there's my total, $51,136. I'll do the same over here. Just equal sum. There is an easier way, but we're not going to worry about it. I'm going to highlight the range, hit the equal symbol, and in this case, our debits and credits are equal, so we did it correctly. Now, ruling. When you add them up, if you were doing this by pencil, you'd have to add a single underline. That means we're going to add or subtract the numbers above. So in this case, we go to the borders button, and when, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, but I'm going to put in a bottom border. Maybe I'll make it a little bit. No, I can't make it any thicker. That's unfortunate. How about right here? Nah, it's not going to show. So, but there should be a line right here, and then since our debits and credits are equal, we should have a double underline. So what I do is I'm just going to drag this up a little bit, and now it looks like a double underline. Then I'm going to have to click here and get rid of this double underline. Using the shift key, I went to the cell, hold the shift key down, I'm hitting the arrow keys, and I'm going to take that border away. So it doesn't look. Then I'm going to put a single border here, and now it looks okay this way. All right, now the next thing. After you finish the trial balance, you should do the balance section, the balance sheet section first. So let's just do it the most efficient way. The permanent accounts are transferred to the balance sheet. Those are your assets, your liabilities, and owner equity accounts. So what I do is I will just highlight all those accounts. They're already on the debit and credit side. Why retype the numbers if you don't have to? So I will highlight that range, right-click, copy it, and then I'll go right to the balance sheet, and I'll paste it. Now all those numbers have been transferred. Now I shouldn't be making any mistakes because here debits and credits are equal. So by doing it this way, there's no way I can make a mistake. Why retype if you don't have to? That's where mistakes occur. So once again, I have all my assets, I have my liabilities, I have my withdrawals account. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add again. Once again, there would be, if you did this manually, a solid line right in this area because we're adding all the numbers above. So I'm going to put another sum function in, equals sum, and I'm going to highlight this range. Enter key, and my total is $33,425. I'll do the same thing here. Now, if I don't want to retype the sum function and I don't want to highlight anything, I can just go to this cell. This bottom right-hand corner is called the fill handle. When the mouse changes to this little cross, I can hold the left mouse down and drag to the right, and automatically the sum function will change. This was adding columns G in column G. Since I moved it over 1, after G comes H, it'll adjust it by 1 column. All right, so in this case, it's going to add up all of this. Well, did it do it all? It'll add up everything. We got to be careful because it's going to match this. It'll add up to here. All right. So probably that might not be the best idea. You know, just to make sure, we'll just add it in, type it in, and I'll highlight the range just to make sure I have the right range. It still will be the same number. Now, if you notice these two numbers are not equal, that's okay. What you have to do now, you have to find out, did we have a net income or net loss? Now I have to change this again. I don't like the way this looks. We got to get rid of that border. Then I have to do this again, hit the border button. All right. So now what we do is I need to add one more row here. I'll add a couple so it looks the same. What we have to do, we have our debits and credits are not equal. That's perfect. So this is a larger side. So what I'm going to do, this number, I will find the difference between this number and that number. And I will put that in this cell because this is a smaller number. The larger number is automatically dragged down to a couple rows. So I'm just going to type equal, and I'm going to click in that cell so I don't have to re-enter it. So now here, what I'm going to do is put in a formula. I'm going to hit the equal sign. That's going to be this cell, in this case the total of my credits, minus sign, which is the hyphen, this cell, and if you notice, it's showing you what the total is right here, $1,619. So I'm hit equal, and so that's the difference. Now what's going to happen now when I add these two cells, so I'll put another formula here, minus this, or I'm sorry, plus this, and it should equal $35,044. Now my debits and credits are equal. And generally speaking, you would also have a solid line here. I wish I could change it. I think I can. If I change this to red and go like that, then you'll see this line, because we're going to add or subtract. So if I did this here, changed it to red, it is still red. So another underline. Now you'll see what I mean. This red line would be a solid single line. And here we're going to have, these are two lines, whatever. So these two are equal. And then basically our debits and credits are equal, so you'd have a solid or a double underline. All right. So this is good. So what we had here, now if you notice, our credits are larger than our debits. In accounting, balance sheet, your assets, etc., you want a higher debit balance. So in this case, if the debit side is greater, we're going to have a net loss. So I'm going to skip a line, and I'm going to type in it's a net loss. And you're going to see what I mean in a second, make it a little more clear. So now what we're going to do the income statement section, we're just going to copy the information right off the trial balance, the income summary down to our expenses. And first of all, that should say utilities expense. I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to paste it here. There's some mistakes in here, so this was used for a different activity last time, so expense. So what I have here, and once again, I'm just going to put in the sum function equals sum. I have to add that information. I'm coming all the way up here just to be safe. Enter. Same thing here. Equal sum. Add these cells here. Once again, the two numbers are up. Now, once again, the larger number automatically gets brought down 2 lines. So I have to make the debits and credits have to equal. So if I did this correctly, we go equal, larger number, minus this cell. And if you notice, it does say $1,619, which is exactly what we want. If that's the case, I know I did this correctly, and then I'm going to add these 2 cells. And now my debits, oh, what did I do wrong here? What did I do wrong here? I added, right? Did I add or subtract? F30. Let's try it again. Equal. Oh, there's a minus sign. This plus that. All right, so now we have our debits and credits are equal. And in this case, we have a net loss. So if you think about it, our revenues are less than our expenses. Our expenses are greater. So of course, if we spend more than what we make, we're going to have a net loss. So if you have a net loss, you're going to have, you notice you'll have a debit here and a credit here, and we'll put those in red. That's if you have a net loss. If there was a net income, which most of our spreadsheets will have, then what's going to happen is the net income will be listed where it's yellow. So yellow is net income, red would be net loss. And this is how you prepare a spreadsheet. So I'm looking for you to format it correctly. I guess we can use this red underline, like I said. Just highlight here and go to the border button. You can change the color to red, something I can see, that, and then you can hit the type of border that you actually want. So if you notice, we have our income summary. So everything from income summary down goes on the income statement, and everything above it goes into the balance sheet. Okay. So right now, that's what I'm looking for you to know how to do. The common errors are people forget to put withdrawals on the debit side of the balance sheet. That's why if you do the trial balance correctly, if you just copy it and then paste it over, there won't be any mistakes. And some people forget about where the income summary goes. So if you just, once again, just copy it and paste it and put it in the income statement section of the worksheet, there won't be any losses. All right, so I hope that this helps you to create your first spreadsheet. There's a little bit more left to go. But once again, make sure you know what the 6 steps of the worksheet are, what a physical period is. Generally, you can look that up. And then what a worksheet is what we're doing. It's our working paper that's going to be used to do all our financial statements. And all the accounts are listed even if they have a 0 balance. I want you to know what ruling is, a single line and a double line. And that ends the lesson. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Thank you.